Hey, hi everyone. Welcome back. So guys, as part of the today's session, I want to give a brief overview on assertions. So ideally, we have two types of assertions, guys. One is a hard assertion and another is a soft assertion. So the hard assertion means whenever anything got a failed, it will not continue your test script execution further. At that line itself, the execution will be stopped, which itself is a hard assertion. And the soft assertion is gonna be even though there is a failure, I still want to continue further till the last line. In such cases, you will be using a soft assertion. Okay, perfect. So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating a new file, test assertions. Okay, I just created a new file which is a test assertions. And on top of it, I was just defining a particular function here. So here def test assert. Okay, so I just want to define this particular assertion. Consider that you have some input basically. The input is Surendra. Okay, and consider that the output that you are getting from your mobile app is Suren. Okay, ideally these two are not same. So how exactly we can compare these two? If you see right now, what exactly we can do is if input is equal to output, if these two are one and the same, okay, if these two are one and the same, then print both are equal. Else, 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 print both are not equal. In general, in the real world, whenever you are working on your projects, if input is not equal to output, or I can say basically, you are doing a kind of an assertion. Instead of input, we are giving it as an expected data, and this is the actual data. So when I run this particular test, the test case is showing as a passed, but the output it is showing as a both are not equal. But my requirement is whenever both are not equal, my script should fail. Okay, that's what exactly I'm looking for. Okay, whenever both are not equal, my test script should fail. Okay, so how exactly you are gonna define that particular set? As said, you can use a hard assertion, basically assert. Okay, so I'm using an assert. Okay, so here what I'm doing is copy the input and an output, put it here. Okay, input and an output, put it here, and then assert input is equal to output. So this means we are checking whether these two are equal or not. If these two are equal, it will print the test case as a passed. If these two are not equal, the test case will be failed. Surendra is not equal to Surendra. If I consider that both are of the same text and when I run it, say the test case is passed and the assertion is also passed. This is a one type of an assertion. And here, along with that, both strings not matched. So after a comma, you can give the desired assertion output. You can give a desired assertion output. So which means whenever these two are not equal, then this will be printed down. So when I run it, see here a customized message that's gonna print out to the console stating that both are not equal being printed down to the console. Okay, both are not being printed down to the console. Okay, for suppose if both are equal and when I run the program, even that portion it doesn't execute at all. It doesn't execute at all. Fine, perfect. And the next one is here. So this is used to compare both the things. And additionally, you can check it out whether some portion is there in another string or not. So let me see an example. Let me show an example of that portion as well. Kind of a contains, I can say, we can consider it as a kind of a contents. So here assert Suren in input. check whether this Suren is there in that input or not. So when I run this particular PyTest, of course, this is a failed. Okay, this is a failed. So I'm just giving it as a Surendra. And when I run it, so that will be passed. Okay, it's there. Or else, input data is equal to Surendra is a QA trainer. Consider that. Okay. So here we are asking it to check in the input data whether Surendra is there or not. When we run it, of course, it's passed and it's displaying that particular chunk there. And for suppose assert, okay, I can use a hard assertion. So basically I just want to keep it as a strictly failure. Okay, default failed. Okay, default failed, irrespective of the things. Whenever this line got encountered, by default it will mark it as a failed itself. Okay, by default it will mark it as a failed itself. That's fine. Okay, by default it will mark it as a failed itself. That's fine. So now here what is happening is, if you say print code starting, and here print code ending. So when I run this, as there is an assertion that it got a failed, so code starting is being executing, but if you say the code ending, it will not execute it. The reason is whenever the assertion got a fail, it will stop the execution at that particular point itself. So this is a hard assertion. I just want to go with a soft assertion. In order to do a soft assertion, the only thing that you need to do is you need to add an additional plugin. So which is a Python soft assertions. So go to the Pycharm, go to settings basically, and in the Python interpreter basically click on a plus, and here PyTest soft assertions. I'm just installing this particular package right now. Okay, I'm just installing this particular package, and upon installing this particular package, right? So let me close this thing. So let me pull this terminal and consider that you want to execute this test from the terminal. Okay, test assertions. Okay, as in when you use this particular test sessions, of course the script got a fail. Okay, it's a default fail that it was noticed. And on top of this one, if I wanna work on this soft assertion, I can use soft asserts. So when I run it, basically it's saying that the overall execution is completed. Okay, and if you see here, okay, so where is this assert line depreciated constant initiated? One second, there is some issue here. Okay, so here clear. Okay, now run it. So this is the assertions, and I want to do it on the soft assertions. And if you see the console here, basically the soft assertions, the test case is ending it up. That's fine. Okay, so here if you see right now, self assertion, Surendra. So this is the soft assertions, and it made this execution, and there is an assertion error. Okay, there is an assertion error that it got a printed down here. Okay, there is an assertion error that it got a printed down. So just one second, I think it's a depreciation as a string depreciated. Use a constant instead. Just one second, there is some line that's causing this issue here. Failed test assert assertion error. Assert a false. Okay, assert a false. Basically, drawn the results. Self assert failed. Session started to. Hey, hi. Sorry, there was a small confusion with respect to this particular error message. It's clearly showing that it's failed at this particular reason. Okay, that's what we are looking for. So this expression is saying that this is a failure that you have reported. To understand it in a much more clear way, what I am doing right now here is let me change my text to Suren. Okay, let me text change my text to Suren. So which means not only this last one, even this one should also fail. So when I run this particular assertion, okay, when I run this particular soft assertion, so here it's showing in the tabular format stating that, buddy, here you have a two assertions that got a failed. See, these are the two assertions that it got a fail. SUR is already there. That's the reason it may not have worked. Maybe I was giving it as a levy. Okay, I was giving it as a levy. Okay, let me try to run this one once again and see here. Okay, let me try to run it once again and see the tabular format that it is being printed down here. Okay, just below. So here, Libby is not there. That's the first issue. Okay, Libby is not there. That's the first issue. And again is an assert false. Both are representing. I somehow got confused in reading this particular message. And even here also, just above this particular one, if you see, okay, just above this particular one also, it's clearly mentioned that only this particular line it got a fail. Okay, only at this particular line it got a fail. And if you see, the code ending is also being executed. I haven't done anything, guys. Okay, the way how it displayed, it got a bit confused for me. But ideally, this is the way it's being showing it up. Whenever the failure is there, it's not stopping, it's proceeding till the end, and it's displaying and it's executing all the chunks and it's showing the complete failure analysis here in this particular thing. Okay, that's perfectly all right. Good. Done the deal. This is all about an assertions. In the next session, we will continue with the further topics. Thank you.